Alright, so welcome to this video. I'm Thomas. This is Thomas and Jack Do Movies, and this is our first ever live stream. And he's not even going to be in this, but this is just going to be me and my amazing hammock talking about the new PS4 Spider-Man video game. And if anyone actually watches this, I'm going to do a little Q&A at the end. So, looks like there's one person actually watching this. Surprising. But I'm going to do a little bit of a Q&A at the end, and then I'm going to talk about the PS4 Spider-Man game first. So let's get right into the PS4 Spider-Man game. Hey, nice hammock. Jack, you're the only, this is pitiful. He's the only person watching this. Okay, so in the PS4 Spider-Man game, what I'm going to talk about it is really just like the storyline and how it is the best Spider-Man movie that we really never got to see. This Spider-Man PS4 game is exactly how I would do a Spider-Man movie. You don't even actually have to play the game. There's a YouTube... Nice sunglasses. Thank you. There is a YouTube video that has the whole 3-hour storyline on there that skips all the actual gameplay. So it's really great. I would highly recommend checking it out. But... So, I didn't play the game, but I did watch it, and it is amazing. I would highly recommend going and watching it. But what makes it so amazing is the fact that it's so much like the comics, okay? Like, I know people started freaking out when they saw the white on the suit, but, I mean, it's just great. The Spider-Man comics were some of the best comics ever. They had some of the best villains ever, and that's what made this so great, is that it copied the comic books. Vulture is almost exactly like the comics. Electro, he's a little different than the comics, but I would say it's almost an improvement from the comics, to be truthful. The other villains like Mr. Negative and Doctor Octopus. Doctor Octopus was crazy. This was like an emotional roller coaster of a video game because of that character, Doctor Octopus. It was started out. Doctor Ock is he's his mentor. He's not, and then he's working on a prosthetic project. Get deeper into it, and then he goes crazy because Oscorp. It's just ridiculous stuff. You know what I mean? And then he ends up becoming like the leader of the Sinister Six, all the bad guys that were in the reaction video me and Jack did. When he's like you in the actual game, that is Dr. Octopus showing up and climbing over the building. So that is crazy. Mr. Negative. Now, I say all those good things about Dr. Octopus, but Mr. Negative really is the best villain in this, and that is simply because I've heard it's really fun playing the game too. Yeah, cool, Jack. Whatever. Sounds like a plan. But that's really just because there's so much character development. From when the game picks up and he goes to visit his aunt on her birthday, I think the name was Lee. That Lee character is there, and he's with his aunt planning a birthday party, and then it just goes on and goes on. And I know he eventually just becomes Mr. Negative, or he was Mr. Negative in the first place, but then we find out how Doc Ock, before he was evil, and Oscorp and their company ruined his life, killed his parents, and that whole thing happened. It really is crazy. I totally forgot to give a spoiler warning before this, but there are going to be probably a ton of major spoilers for the game because I just really want to talk about how awesome this game is. So give me your thoughts if you've watched the thing or if you've played the game. Just kind of throw out your thoughts right now. I'll read them as I go along. But yeah, all the villains are great. I would highly recommend checking that out. And then you've got Spider-Man himself, Peter Parker. Now, this is the best example of how you don't need to have an origin story. Because, I'll tell you what, it literally starts out in Peter Parker's bedroom. And, the camera goes by a bunch of his spider gear and his mask and all of that. And he's been Spider-Man for a long time. This isn't a sequel to any other video game. This isn't, this is its own video game. and it starts out, he's been Spider-Man for a crazy long time. And that's one of the cool things about this. It's just, it's not an origin story. It's just a good story, a Spider-Man story. And, don't even get me started on the whole Miles Morales teaser at the end and how he's going to be in the sequel. And by the way, if there isn't a sequel, man, I'm going to be mad because this thing deserves a sequel because it is just so awesome. What happens is for the two of you that are watching who haven't actually even seen the video or played the game, is Miles Morales gets injected. He gets bitten by a spider near the end of the game, and you're just like, oh man, that's awesome, right? But so you don't know if there's going to be a sequel. I don't know if there's going to be a sequel. That's right, Jack. But at the end, Miles Morales gets bitten by a spider, and he right, and you think they're just going to leave it at that, and then literally right before it ends, they have the whole puberty joke where Miles Morales is like, "Hey, I have changes with my body or whatever. Have I played it, Thomas?" No, I have not played it. I have just watched the storyline on YouTube. There's a 3-hour video that has a storyline of it, but yeah, it's literally 3 hours long, and I sat down and watched it, and it just has everything that you need to know about the game in it. But anyway, I think I was talking about the Miles Morales teaser. He gets bitten by a spider, and then they have a puberty joke where he's like, "Peter, I think my body's changing." He's like, "Yeah, that happens to everyone." And then he goes, "No, not like that," and then jumps and hangs on the ceiling. And then Peter does the same thing, and they both jump and hang on the ceiling. It's really awesome. I don't know. It's kind of choppy on my end. I don't know if it is on your guys's, but it is just awesome how that happens. But yeah, the villains are great. The Miles Morales is great, and one character that I like that they brought back. I've always kind of liked this character more than more. Is okay. It's kind of choppy. I kind of figured it was choppy. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me? Even though it's still really choppy, I'm gonna take that as a yes. But okay, yes. One character I really like that they brought back, and I like this character more than the other popular characters. MJ, Mary. I've always liked her more than Gwen Stacy, just because I like her character more. She's more of an endeavor in the game too. She's more of a I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna learn more about Oscorp. She's really Spider-Man's partner in this game. She does a lot of dirty work through it. I'm gonna have to end this soon, so if you guys have questions, throw it up now. But she does a lot of dirty work. Um, she gets her hands dirty. She does the hard work, and Gwen Stacy never did that in the comics or in the movies. So yeah, that's another reason that I really do like this character, this game. It's really just a great game, and I would highly recommend checking it out. Do any main characters die? Yes. Do you want to know which ones die? Because I will list all of the main characters that die. So one new person just joined. I'm not sure if it was the same person that was here before, but I'm talking about the Spider-Man PS4 game. So I'm kind of just talking about it, reviewing it. Okay, so it's the same guy who was here before. But Jack said, "I only have an Xbox. You need to get a PlayStation, dude. PlayStations are better." So Jack said yes on He Dies. So who all dies in this game? That dies is Aunt May. She's the main one that dies. When we pick up, Ben's already long gone. Uncle Ben's dead. So yeah, the main character. I think she's the only main character that dies is Aunt May. And remember, Doc Ock goes to prison. I think I'm trying to think. Lee does not die. Oh, Luke Brockway. Gotta go see ya. Bye, Luke. But yeah, the only main characters that die, if I remember right, were Aunt May, and I think Mr. Negative also died. But yeah, those are the two really true main characters that died. Ben is just long gone when this picks up. I'm not sure. Also, when the game picks up, MJ and him aren't together. They are together by the end, but when the game picks up, they're not dating at that current state. I also really like the way they introduced Miles Morales. How they did that was a cop dad. What they did is his dad was a cop, and the cop came and helped out Spider-Man a little bit, and he mentioned times. And then the cop wins an award, and then he dies at a hearing. He dies because of a bombing at the hearing he was at. So that was really disappointing for the cop. But then the son, Peter Parker goes up to the son and he starts, soothing him. And he's like, "Who are you?" Because Miles Morales is a huge Spider-Man fan, but obviously he doesn't know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So then Peter Parker and Miles Morales becomes friends, and also Miles Morales and Spider-Man become friends. So that's a really cool dynamic. And Spider-Man actually trains Miles Morales how to punch, and then he kicks a couple criminals. So yeah, that's just little cool things, neat things like that in the Spider-Man PS4 game that make it amazing. And that's what I love about this, that it's so much like the comics and it's so much like its origin. So the one person who's watching, I'm not even sure who it is, but if you have any questions, just throw them up there. But yeah, so you know, I love the PS4 Spider-Man game, and I really hope you check it out. So that one person who's still watching, if you have any questions, throw them up now or end this. Man, what's this little stick down here? Ooh, you can put like filters. So sorry, one person who's watching. I'm just kind of playing with this. Let like that pop. No, no, no. Okay, so I put another filter on it. Yeah, that looks interesting. Okay, you guys. So it looks like the one person who's watching doesn't have any questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed this little live stream. If you want me to do more things like that, where I just kind of talk about bunch of comments just came in. Okay, I see what's going on. But so if you guys have any questions, just so yeah, this is for this week because I'm busy tomorrow and Jack's busy tomorrow, and so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little live stream. Tell me in the comments on one of our other videos, because I'm not sure you can comment on a live stream after it's done. But tell me in the comments on other videos if you want me to do more live streams like this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me just kind of talking about the PS4 Spider-Man game. I'm Thomas, and I will see you next time.